Alright, so here's the form, and this is part 2 of the using forms and with BraveNet, so please make sure you're watching number 1. I'm making shorter 15-minute segments so that it's not such a long process to watch the videos. You can get to what you're looking for faster. So this is part 2. So here I am looking at the form. I just put the information in Dreamweaver. Notice that if I am over here, I use split view all the time. I don't just use design view. I find that to be a little, I want to know the actual code at the side. So I'm constantly in split view where I see my code over here and I see the way it looks on this, and I'll go back and forth. What's nice is I can click on this and I can see the banner, my div, and I can go in and I can see the different elements. So here's where my menu is, my menu sec div is for that, and I can go and click on my form, and hopefully if I can click on it right, I can see what I've got. So if I'm looking at this form here, notice that here's some of the information that they provide us with. So I'm looking at, I want to find the actual form. So here's the form. So here's my div where I'm containing it. And here's the beginning of the form. So here's the method, the post. This is the information that tells where it's going to send the information from the form. And then BraveNet is going to email that information to you to say, hey, someone has submitted a form. Here it is. And so this is where you can make some changes to notice that this says align center. If I wanted to make this form align to the left side, and I do, I'm going to control save that, and the form should then move over because I had already had my design set up for this, for my follow-up. I hit refresh, then this follow us is going to be where I want it. And some of the issues that I've got to deal with is the spacing here on the side of each one of these boxes, and I can adjust that by going in, and I've got to look at, notice that it's got the styles written right in there, and so you can adjust these things, the label, first name, style, float left, left, width condition. Now let's see if we add some things. Let's say padding left, and I'm going to say 10 pixels. If I do that, then it pushes that out. Notice that this just jumped out a little bit. Hit Control Save. Now these are the things that I do just to kind of make sure I'm expecting then to see this move. When I hit a refresh, so there it did. So I'm pushing that over. So I'm still styling. I made a mistake on something, but I've moved something over. I hit a button somewhere that I don't want to do, but hit save. And these kind of things happen all the time. I'll make I'll move something, and I will make a mistake in some area, and I'll have to go back and see what I did. I get sloppy. And I will make a change to something, and maybe the thing that I'm trying to do won't work. But there's obviously an issue with that this, and I don't know exactly what I did. But that might be a problem from something I did earlier. Oh, okay. So there, I got it back. So here's my first and last name, and what. So I'll just do that again and hit save. Let's see if okay, so now I've moved it over a little bit. So each one of those will get fixed. So I had a slip of the finger. So I'm going to move all these over just a hair, and I'm going to make those adjustments. Okay, and so when you're making your forms, remember, you can adjust all of this information. You're going to have to read about what that information means, so that when you're reading your code, you've got to sort through all of this stuff here and figure out what does it mean. And so you can fill in these little, anytime you see these spaces here with the quotations, you can change that. See, I can add text. Oops. Let me hit save. And then I always, to kind of get myself comfortable, with stuff, I always test it out. And I always go back and say, okay, now if I change this, what's going to happen? Okay, so if I make a change and it doesn't work, then obviously I've done something wrong, or I'm not choosing the right thing. So I thought I was going to get in a change there. And so what I'll do is, if you click over here, I can sometimes see, okay, first and last name, I can see where that is, and then make some changes to it. So what would happen if I selected this here and I said okay, so it's adding that information right here. And so these are the things that as I'm doing this, when you do this for the first time, you are going to have to do experiments like this, saying, well, now what exactly is going on? Because sometimes you look at all this information and it can be very confusing. Yeah, so that in between these spaces here, that's where you put your content. It's not always in this space. Okay, that's being used for something else. So that it looks just like the code that we have, but it's a little bit messy, and things can get kind of confusing. Notice that this is the place where I put the variable name, current stu1. That was some of the information that I had to input in the value. And so there's a lot of information here that I can work with. And again, you can style this as well using your CSS pages. For instance, if you have a style sheet, you can use the tables and you can still style things in your CSS. So you could have a specific style sheet just for this page, which is something that I did. I made a separate one for my thank you pages because I changed significantly the way the actual code looks. So I have a lot of styling going on here. I'd have to go down and find some of the things that I'm looking at, like my menu styles, and then I have one, I think, here's my gallery container style, and then if I wanted to do one specifically for the tables, I would do that, and for that sort of thing. So I would have lots and lots and lots of code here to style things. A lot of times when you have a form or something like this that people are giving you, say you're using a Java gallery or something like that, or a JavaScript or something, they may give you parameters up here that you can adjust just like I did. And so that's going to be embedded into the code sometimes too. So it makes things makes changing things a little bit easier. So I can adjust things like the width and the height of certain things, and sometimes they'll say don't touch any of this, but if you've got your form set up, it's going to set this up. You've got your submission button down here. You want to make sure that when that displays, it's actually in the right spot and not down in other places. So you might have to actually make changes to how big your divs are and that sort of thing. So when this goes out, it should send a email to your, it should send some kind of, I'll say yes, I'm a current student, and I'm going to say first and last. I'm going to fill this in and see if I can get an email. I'm going to send my email, so I would put in my email there and my phone number. And so you need to test this out on your own, make sure that this works, and troubleshoot as needed. And so when you're finished, I should get a thank you response when I submit your form, because I'm going to test it out, and that will come up in your email, and you'll want to check for that. So I'm going to go back to BraveNet here, and I want to make sure that once I had my forms done, I was done building my forms, right? I am going to go to the general settings. I can email subject. I'm going to say thank you for connecting with us. The thank you URL. This is where you could put your URL for your thank you page. So you're supposed to put a thank you page and put your URL there. I'm also going to send out, you don't necessarily, you can have a thank you page, but I think the autoresponder is a good idea. It sets up an email service to automatically send them a thank you in their email. So I'm saying the subject line will be thank you, and then say thank you for your interest in blah 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 with my company or whatever it is, and I'm going to hit save. And so that would be what I would expect for you to be doing, having that set up. And I'm going to go to my forms. So I have this here, and so what I would try to do is make sure that these things are. Oops, I want to go back to this. Make sure that these things are working. I'm going to test it out. Email address. So I need to send my email address here. So I'm going to send my Parkland email address, and here's my phone number. That's everybody's phone number. And am I a current student? Yes, I am. And I'm going to say submit, and it says email, please confirm, and then it has this information. And so this is going to be please confirm, continue, and I'm going to say continue, and we'll see what it does. Hopefully it's good. Then it'll say return to website. Okay, and then it'll take me back to my home page. So here is this is the web address that I told it to email me to when it was finished. So this could be your thank you email or something else. Yeah, I'm sorry, not your thank you email, your thank you web page. So here it is. It sent me right to where I wanted it to go. And so now if I look at my, I'm going to see if I got an autoresponder here. So hang on a second. Okay, so here I am back in my email, and here is the email I got from the form, and it says, thanks for your interest in Parkland's digital media. A digital media advisor will be connecting with you soon. And then it tries to sell you something, I think. So anyway, it works. And so I got all those things, those general settings. So back here, just make sure we're clear. I had, all right. So just to be clear, at the end here, we built our form. We go back to the web tools here, and let's say leave this page, and I went to the email web forms, and I went to the general settings. All right, and I filled out this. This is the URL where you're going to have it go to after it submits the form. So this is where your thank you page is going to be. You've got to have that set up ahead of time, okay, so that you're ready to go. I'm going to go back, and this is the autoresponder that you want to have. Okay, so that's there. So once you're finished, you're going to have your form under my forms. You're going to have your form. It's going to send me a thank you email, or it's going to send me a thank you letter. It's going to open up your thank you web page that says thank you again, and then you'll have all that. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much. Have fun with this.